Hi friends, this is Sarah. Welcome to Crafting and Relaxing. Thank you so very much for joining me today. This is updates for the weekend, so it's a lot of random stuff. If you're not familiar with my channel, this might not be the video for you. It's a lot of bits of information and there's no tutorial here, but you might get tips on random things, so who knows, maybe you'll like it. Anyway, welcome whether you're brand new. I hope you enjoy this video. Today I'm showing you what I did with Authentique Dreamy. Many of you aren't fans of Authentique, and I think it's because you fear I'm going to call them cherubs. That's what some of you call them. So I'm doing two Authentique collections. There's this one that I just wrapped up, and then another one, I call it the picnic one, but what's it called? Cheerful. It's the red and ladybug one. So I'm going to do both of these and remove the cherubs essentially, so that you can really, when you're shopping and thinking about it, you can see the beauty of Authentique papers and not be fearful of these little kids that scare you guys so much sometimes. So this is Dreamy. 2 weeks ago, I showed you the card bases. I don't know. It's like one day I was super inspired. I made all the bases and then I just completely stopped for a while. So I got tired of it. And it was what I would kind of call my TV collection. It sat on a folding table in the front room. We're home so much now that I kind of have a project where I watch TV with my husband, and then stuff in my craft room. And this was out there because it was just 6x6 and I was down to mostly tags and decorating. So I just make myself a little tray and take it out there. So let me get us something to lift these cards up for your view. I moved things around. I'm trying to make it better so when I do project shares, they're not so much shaking, but you can see the detail too. These are a little bit eclectic because I had other stuff sitting around. So I'll give you a quick idea. Some of these are leftover papers, tiny bit of, this was Cartabella flowers I found on the counter. This was in Happy Mail from one of you. Remember, it was a blue ribbon of flowers, and of course I loved it. But sometimes when I see something that I really love, instead of putting a strand on a couple cards, you might see that on like 20 cards because I'll take each flower. The Good Luck die was one I picked up at my local store, and it was also in the Cartabella brown. It's a little dark, but it's fun contrast. And then I like these pearls. These are not called pearls. They're Queen and Company Frosties. And I thought they were really, really nice for Dreamy because it's not necessarily a rhinestone kind of collection. And the corners were rounded, if you remember, on the bases. And I think that worked. This is, I think it's called shimmer paper. Understated and nice for this. This one's a little more rowdy. This is for an orange lover, I think. This was a stretch for me. This ribbon, I think, has been floating in my stash for years, and it was making me crazy. I put a die cut behind it, which I think helps bring your eye to that butterfly a little better. There's Wink of Stella on the butterfly. This is a strange color glitter paper that Noni gave me for some project, I think maybe in the fall, but I really liked it with this, and this is nice glitter paper. Does not shed, nice for die cutting. I haven't given up on glitter paper completely, but I will be super careful, like I said, about it. And I was reassured to hear that others of you have actually just given up and thrown glitter paper away. Like, it wasn't just me that gave up and said, I've had enough. Thank you for that. And that's kind of a story from last week. Just so you know, I have finished this one. What's it called? Clementine for Smash That Small Paper Pad, but I'll film that and you'll see that later. I'm done fighting the glitter paper. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, she became a butterfly. This collection is really, really soft and might not pick up great on film just because it doesn't have the contrast. But I love this butterfly paper. I'm sure that's why I bought this. That paper alone speaks to me, and then I like the light blue in it. And I have Wink of Stella. I just used like every random butterfly. This was a Happy Mail butterfly. This was from the Punch. These were from Andrea's. Thanks. This, I wasn't feeling it. I did not like it when I put it together, and I thought I'd gone wrong, maybe too much small stuff. But yesterday when I was putting the, oh, they all have cute little, when I was gluing the scrap inside, I looked at this and I was like, okay, I like how it turned out. What do you guys think? You're probably too nice. I think in the end I liked it. I had a couple more of those orange flowers, but they were just big, so I didn't want to put more in there. This one I love. See, these cards are so soft. I think these are Dollar Tree butterflies. There are so many beautiful things in the world to be happy about. I think that's what it says. I don't know. So cute. And I have Wink of Stella on the butterfly. And I have some cream papers layered up here. Follow your dreams, they know the way. Clearly this wasn't from this collection. I tried it. It got a little bright, but I love that paper again. This one is a butterfly that Daniela Hayes sent me in my blue embellishment book, and I've been hoarding and hoarding, and I was like, oh, this is the moment. As far as like color balance, I think I probably needed a little bit different placement of blue, but I love this card. I will probably stand this card up in my room and admire it for a while before I mail it to anybody or do anything with it. And I'm trying to figure out what can be mailed with a regular stamp, because I clearly have a lot to learn about postage. I am sure that this can't, because it has this really neat thing up the center of it. It looks like it's a plastic feather. I don't think this can, but I'm wondering, can enamel dots, can just basic enamel dots, like if they feel them at the post office, will they let them go through? Does anybody know? I know that they'll fit through the slot, but I'm trying to learn the difference between non-machinable. And that's mostly because if I send you a card, I want to be sure I've put the right postage on it. And I was wrong. My husband took one to the post office for me the other day, and I had put a stamp on it, and he said, oh, that costs more. And I was like, it did? He said it was only 15 cents, but still, I don't want to send you a bill. This one, Hello, again, that same glitter paper, and I tried the patterned paper in the back. I don't know if I pulled it off. Same idea. Like a butterfly, I am growing and changing and finding my true colors in life. I am finding my wings so I can fly and soon be on my way. One thing I don't love about these sentiments is you're going to have to send these to a certain age group, because I'm right at that cusp where if you sent me this card, I can barely read it. Maybe if you buy the 12 by 12 pad, the sentiments are bigger. Probably. Here I have butterflies stapled up like Crystal did before, and Wink of Stella. The big one's not stapled, and I'm not sure if the tiny attacher staples go through the mail okay. They feel thicker maybe than a regular staple. They're tiny, but they stand up. I love the layers on these cards and mixing the papers. But if you watch my channel, you know I do that. This one I love. Follow your dreams, they know the way. I don't know, the circle, I was trying something with the circle of the paper on the same paper. I don't know if that accents it or just gets lost. Still, I had fun. And these butterflies were in Happy Mail from Tasha from like at least a year ago. I had them set with something else, and then I was like, oh, they're perfect for this. I'm using them. Same sentiment. It's fun to look and see what you can do with the same products and have different cards. And here, if you have butterfly stamps that don't layer, and maybe you have a really open one like this, notice the use of the circle, because that helps it accent that butterfly more. On a patterned paper, it would get lost a little more without that circle. And then here's this one, and then I put some of the butterflies that Andrea had given me on here. So they're different colors, a little bolder. I think what I'm going to do is probably put a set of these, a few of them, in my Etsy store and see how they sell. So far, I haven't sold any cards, but I haven't been really dedicated to posting in my Etsy store. I'll be honest, I have fun crafting, right? It's not really about posting in my store. I should probably work on that. And again, I thank Annie of Annie Creates so much for being my first customer ever. Here's what I did with the rest of the paper. I have 3 pieces left. I'm going to go ahead and ditch those. They're partly the edge too, where the adhesive is on there, so I don't like that ridge. By the time you trim that off, there's just not going to be much to work with. So what I did was I was making tags. Making tags or decorating tags is a great thing to do when you're watching TV. Right now, you're probably watching TV with your family, sitting around talking with them. I don't know, maybe you're playing board games and it's not your turn, but you can punch when it's not your turn and still chat and participate. I don't have a great tag die. What I would really like is a tag a little bit bigger than this. I like this one. It's Noni's. I borrow it and then return it and then borrow it again. I don't know if she ever gets to use it. It's squarer. I don't like dealing with the curves so much, but I'd really like to have like a layered set. So then it had one inside a little smaller. And you know me, I'd prefer not to have the heart. This is a Sizzix die, I'm sure. I didn't see a star version of this, which I would snatch up in a heartbeat. If you have layering dies that you think are awesome, message me on Instagram with a link or send me an email at craftingandrelaxing@gmail.com. I'd love ideas, but you know, I just hate to sit around and look for hours and shop. I left the backs blank because I thought they'd be good for journal pages, art journal pages, cards. Some of them you could use on scrapbook pages. It just depends. Great starting point and inspiration. And they would go with different papers, or if you happen to have this paper in your stash, you could grab these and then go forward. Some places I accented pink, some places I accented the orange. I had these orange bling in my stash, and they kind of spoke to me. I think this is a really fun collection. Such soft colors. To use up the rest of the paper, right, to not let any go to waste, and you'll notice like on this one, on the back, there was some sort of person or cherub. Nope, didn't use it. I die cut shapes out of all the rest of the paper. And what I've been doing, and the reason that you saw a few flowers of different collections and butterflies in here, is just to make sure I don't waste anything. I'm making flower petals or butterflies or little circles or stars, tiny sentiments, things that you can layer up for other collections, right? I mean, these will mix and match in other things and be adorable. I think what I'll do is put a tag set in my store too and put in all these cute little embellishments, because if I got this in the mail, I might want more stuff to play with, or I might want to just take this and put it with something else and not add any more of the dreamy colorscape to it, because this would go with almost every pastel pink thing that someone makes. It's a little bit eclectic. I just had fun and I used bits of stuff that were sitting around. I'm really enjoying doing tags. Okay, the cabinet that's sitting around I haven't done a thing with. I found my crafting and relaxing stickers. They were all chopped up tidy and in the drawer where I keep the Happy Mail stuff. I'll probably put some of my grandma's paintings in this video, and you can see those because yesterday would have been her birthday, and I think that everybody needs to think about what's their next thing. What's your inspiration? When was the last time that you did something for the first time? How are you going to find joy? And if you've heard me talk about my grandma, you know that she set out for new challenges later in life, and I think that we need to always be doing that. Tags weren't something that I ever did. I'm gonna try. I would like to credit the trail, but I can't quite. Somebody that I watched in one of my collabs mentioned Brown Baby Craftaholic on Instagram. So I watched a YouTube video that shared a project and then referred me to this Instagram video. And the video on Instagram, she took a 6x6 and made the cutest album. So I'm gonna try it. I think I'm probably gonna start with an 8x8 just because Cheerful that I have started is an 8x8. I am hoping to get my hands on a border punch pretty soon so that I can do the pages cute. I have pinking shears. I tear a lot, and I have a couple of 6-inch border dies that I borrowed from Noni months ago, but a 6-inch border die is pretty hard to do on an 8-inch paper. Sometimes it's hard to get straight on a 6-inch, and they're not very detailed. I think I'm gonna do that, and I might do it even if I don't have fun punches. It looks like a really fun idea, and you know I love small patterns and small papers, so I'll have a great time with that. Mr. Crafting and Relaxing, again, has been playing with all my technology, and he wants to do a choose your ending craft project. So like I would start a card and say, do you want me to use the blue paper or the pink paper? Do you want me to use gold or silver? Which stamp do you want to use? And then you would do something, and then you would see the card that you want to see. And he says it uses some technology that wouldn't work on YouTube, but we could do it on my website if you want. So if you're super excited about that, let me know. We'll probably just do a simple one because I told him I didn't want to have to make 20 versions of the same thing. I've wrapped up Dreamy and Clementine. I still have my July daily journal that I'm working on. I'm going to be picking signatures, and that video will come out on Wednesday. My craft room is a mess. So I'm super excited that I've wrapped up 2 collections, updated you guys. Now I'm going to take a break, and I guess, do we call it a break? And probably set a 30-minute timer and put a hurtin' on this room because it's to the point where there's no room. Like, it's layered. I'm waiting for a craft-a-lanch. I hope that you guys have enjoyed seeing my grandma's paintings. I was scurrying around the house this morning, taking them down and trying to film them outside without glare for you, which was tricky. I'm sure Mr. Crafting and Relaxing lays in bed and thinks, what is that woman doing? I like to keep him guessing, you know? Do you run around your house in the morning and take the paintings off the walls? Anyway, I hope you're having a fabulous weekend and that you are taking good care of yourself. Be sure that if you're buying and spending money, you're thinking about who you're supporting. Are you supporting your local community? Is there a way that if you're purchasing something, you could support your family? You're going to make buying decisions over the next couple months, and how you spend your money could really help your community or your state. I'm really trying to support my local paper crafting store, and I'm thinking of what I, quote, need next, which we all know I don't need anything. And I'm trying to resist watching the online expo. But what I might do in there is I might check, and if there are vendors that I know have stuck with us through the years or make their products in the US, then I might just justify that and place an order. I'll tell you guys next week if I broke down and watched. Bye-bye.